This video is an analysis of my Prime Harbinger's Warship speedruns. If you haven't seen the 2 speedrun videos I posted last week yet, I'd recommend watching those first, since I'll be pausing a lot in this video. So since I'm speedrunning, I need to cut down as much time as possible. The first build phase always takes a lot of time in any map, so the way I cut down build phase here is that I just place down 2 max range boost auras with boosted blockade, and then I hit G as soon as I can, wasting no time at all in build phase. After combat phase starts, I use Abysslord to build, since anything he builds is placed instantly. I'm using my Retribution wall build on these orc blockades to stall time until I can get crystals from the wyverns to damage the Harbinger. The reflect beam here is to reflect the Harbinger's range attacks. You can see that after I start building the reflect beam, I activate my pet's poisonous tips ability and shoot down the Harbinger's cannon. This is to make sure that the Harbinger doesn't run back to the cannon again in the first phase. I want him in the center of the map, since that's around where the crystal from the wyvern drops. If I don't kill the cannon, he'll run back to it later, which would lose me time. After I shoot down the cannon, I place a weapon manufacturer to stun the assassins that will be spawning later on in the wave. And after that, I place a max range flame aura with the empowering flame shard to boost my hero damage. After I place the flame aura, I will start shooting into the enemy lanes with my nuke monk to make sure that my walls at the core will survive long enough for me to get the crystal to quick cycle the Harbinger. Now that all that setup is out of the way, let's talk about how I quick cycle the Harbinger. If your damage is high enough, 1 crystal will allow you to complete 2 phases or waves, which means that I will need 2 of them to kill the Harbinger. So what I do here is kill the first wyvern and then wait for the second wyvern to get close enough to the map before I pick up the first crystal and start killing the Harbinger. I don't bother killing the second wyvern myself, because once the Harbinger reaches 1.5 billion HP and the first wave ends, everything on the map will die anyways. To increase my damage even further, I am using 3 pets with Sandstorm, Poisonous Tips, and Cyclone abilities. As you can see, I will switch to a different pet during each build phase, so that I have a pet ability for every wave. Cyclone is the strongest of the 3 abilities I'm using, but I can't just use 3 Cyclones because the cooldown is shared between the same ability, so I have to use 3 different ones. And if you're wondering why I'm not using Dragolich, it's because Dragolich doesn't work on Harbinger as far as I can tell. Also, there is a reason why I'm using Sandstorm first. The 2 other abilities have 45-second cooldowns, and I'm cycling Harbinger so fast that the other 2 abilities would not come back up in time if I used either of them in the first wave. Sandstorm, however, has a 30-second cooldown, so it is possible for me to use it again on the last phase. On the last wave, I place another Flame Aura to boost my hero damage, and then finish Harbinger off to complete the map solo in pretty much exactly 2 minutes. In the group run, we're employing a similar strategy. Jade, Hord, and Arti all drop mana in different places on the map, so they don't accidentally steal any mana from me. To minimize any time loss from having to wait slightly longer for mana, I only place 1 boost aura and then we all hit G as soon as possible. I place a few more orc blockades than I do when soloing to account for the increased HP of the enemies, and Jade, Hord, and Arti each DPS one of the 3 lanes while I build. Arti will kill the cannon for me so that I can just focus on building out the rest of the map. Once they see that the second wyvern is getting close, they will all come back to the center of the map and swap to nuke monk to nuke down the Harbinger with me. All of us are also switching pets to maximize damage, just like I did in my solo run. The one difference here though is that we coordinated our pet abilities. The Poisonous Tips buff increases the hero damage of other players around you as well, so we made sure that we staggered it so that we have a Poisonous Tips ability for every wave. This did mean that some of us didn't get to use an ability on a certain wave, but it maximized our overall damage output. With all of this damage, we are able to cycle the Harbinger just a little bit faster, resulting in a time of 1 minute and 52.5 seconds. So that's a little analysis video of my Harbinger's Warship speedruns. I had a lot of fun coming up with ways to complete this map faster and faster, and I'm really happy with the 2-minute time I was able to achieve while playing solo. It was also really fun running this map with my friends, so thanks to Jade, Hord, and Arti for helping out as well. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.